a warm welcome. So when I got asked to put together this presentation, basically I decided what I wanted to do was tell everybody about my journey as far as being an entrepreneur here in Oklahoma City. How many people here have started a company or are in the business of starting a company or looking at starting a company? I mean, that's kind of the reason why all of us end up here, right? Well, as like many of you guys, I'm a serial entrepreneur. It's been one of those things I've done my entire life. I started 2 different companies in college and then moved to here and started another company. That one failed, started another company, that one failed, then started another company after that, just kind of kept going the whole time. But this last round has been particularly successful for me. So I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the lessons I've learned out of that, how that is directly related to here in Oklahoma City and the success that that's brought about, and how I ended up getting acquired, which really wasn't the focus of what I was aiming at, but it ended up being exactly the right thing for me at the time. So I'm going to talk about 2 companies. The first one is the one I started, and the second one's the one that bought mine. So Groundwork Technology was a company I started with my brothers, both of which are software engineers as well, back in early 2012. We had, it was a kind of the height of where the oil prices were starting to go through the roof, and a friend of mine came to me and said, hey, I need some services and some systems built, software systems built, to provide technological solutions out in the oil field. He said, can you do that? I said, of course I can. I brought my brothers on board with me and we started working on this. Very quickly, we were able to develop a working prototype and a working product for this customer. It got to the point where we reached the limitation of what we could do while I was still working part-time. And so in September 1st of 2012, I left my previous company, the company I was working at as I was director of their software development program, and started doing Groundwork full-time. So Groundwork was incorporated like February of 2012, but I started actually working full-time in September of 2012. And we were basically trying to do anything we could to stay alive, right? I mean, we're coming out with products. Most of them were, and this whole presentation is really tech-centric. I realize that we've got lots of different technology companies here, lots of different startups, lots of different places, people who make beer for pets, all the way to people who rent out spaces and virtual Ubers and stuff like that. But obviously mine is aimed at more technology-centric. My degrees are in business administration and computer science. And I wanted to own a business and start one my whole life. And so being able to go out on my own and do this full time and actually be my job full time was a huge stepping stone to me, and it was pretty exciting. So we came up with a number of products. We started selling them immediately, mostly software as a service offering. And my background was in embedded Linux systems, mobile computing, and cloud computing. And that worked really well in the space that we were at. There was a lot of money in that space. It worked out pretty well for us. So we talk about it. We did a lot of things right at Groundwork. By the way, my brothers were never able to come on full time. So it was me, whatever work I was able to outsource, and me was the extent of it. So we did a number of things right, and I'd like to talk about those because those things that were right, doing them the right way, allowed us to get to where I'm at now. If it wasn't for the decisions that we made early on and the decisions to actually be a company that focuses on doing things the right way, we never would have been acquired. And that's something I think a lot of companies that are looking to be acquired end up missing out. The first thing we did that was really, really smart was being in Oklahoma. Now this wasn't exact, I didn't plan on moving to Oklahoma. This wasn't something that way ended up happening. But Oklahoma ended up being the center of the fracking industry at the time, the center of the new age energy economy. And there was a lot of things happening right here. There was a lot of money. There was a lot of money for investment. There was just a lot of opportunities here. Because of that, if you had technology you could bring to bear, that made it very easy for us to be able to provide solutions and find customers that were willing to pay for that fairly quickly. Immediately we decided, because of my background, to use open source technology and open source methods. Doesn't make any sense to reverse engineer the entire software stack when you can start on a Linux platform and build up from there. There's a reason why out of the 500 fastest growing tech companies in the world, one of them uses Microsoft products, right? And that one's Microsoft, right? So the reason why is because it's just too cheap for me to spin up 26 Amazon instances of Fedora, drop my packages in there, and have a clustered system running up in a couple hours. The management's easier, the time to development's easier, the access you have at the low level was easier, all of the systems ended up being easier. One of the things we made an early decision on was to be an agile development shop. To put that in layman's terms, it just means always have a working product and to develop the least amount needed to get things started. And most people here understand the idea of agile development, minimum viable product, and pivoting. I think every presentation I've seen up here uses that language even when they're not inside the technology space. But we decided to do that. Because of that, we had a product. We started from an early demo, an early beta, and immediately we had a product that people could use. That meant that we weren't dealing in vaporware. That sounds insignificant, but it turns out to be a major deciding factor in what ended up being the acquisition. Because without an actual product, there wasn't a lot of value to bring to any of our the companies that were looking at us. We had to have some intellectual property. We had to have processes in place. We had to have those systems in place to bring the value. And so that's what we did. We very early on decided to make sure we always had a working product that we could actually sell and something that the customers could actually use. And then the last piece, and this one becomes more and more important as we move forward, is the value of data. I'll talk a little bit more about this as we get into AI, but data ends up being a major piece and a major player in this space as we're going forward. So Groundwarp was in existence from 2012 up until about January 1st of 2015. And that's when my time with Automation Integrated started. But the major piece that I would suggest you guys take away from what ended up being the decision to get acquired was we built for long-term value from the beginning. All the decisions we made were for the purpose of creating something that was actually valuable. If you're building a product that has value, ultimately that's something that's resellable. That's something that can be reinvested in. That's something investors will look for. That's something that people will get behind. If your goal is to make money, and you're trying to do whatever it takes to make money as opposed to bring value to your customers, bring value to the people that you're involved with, then you're going to end up hurting in the long run. And thankfully, we kind of always work towards that.